Woo! It's the return of the podcast. Yeah. You guys can use that for a meme there, like I've just celebrated for no reason. So if you ever want to clip that using the meme format, feel free to. As you guys can see, this episode is sponsored. I'll speak about that in a second. And if you guys can see from the title of the video, if I haven't clickbaited it, I may have clickbaited it. It is going to be about football. What got me into football, when I got into football, how I got into football. I am going to just try and keep this in one take, so don't expect any edit cuts. Right now I've got to clear my voice, so I'm going to have a quick sip of tea. Got a brew with me. Oh, lovely brew. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, football, the beautiful game as it is better known as. I actually can't remember me first hearing about football. I don't think many people can, unless you're like, I don't know. Well, I'm 18. I class that not as really old, but quite old. Not even quite old. It's just... It's not really old at all. But 18, it's a long time to be alive. 18 years, it's a long time. And I can't remember my first experience with football. I can sort of remember my earliest, and that would be watching my older brother play for the local team we have, the local side. And he used to play. Oh, that's my phone going. He used to play in the main team, and we'd go and watch, and that sort of got me into the team in the lower age, and then I started sort of playing then. I will admit, guys, in all honesty, I have always been a big fan of football, but not as big as I've been in the last 2 years. Like, on a real, this last 2/3 years has been the most invested I've ever been in football. I used to not be able to watch the games, like, at all. What we used to do is quite weird. We used to get newspaper, and we'd see the scores off the newspaper. Well, that's a few years ago, before the internet, like, really started to pop off. Obviously now you can just search up a game instantly, find out the score as it's going live. Back then it used to be we'd get the newspaper, have a look at the score, pretty much. When I was about 3 years old, up to the age of 3, I started following Reading. And even then, I wasn't really following Reading. It was just my favourite club at the time. I was like, okay, I like Reading. And it was just because of their badge. That was literally it. And then I saw like the incident that happened between Petr Cech. I don't know who it was for Reading, but the incident where Petr Cech, I can't England, had a big head injury, which made him wear the hat thing he wore, like the protective helmet. And that is sort of what got me into Chelsea Football Club. That is pretty much how I found out about Chelsea Club. So that was about 2006. I believe it's November 2006. November 2006. And that is when I started supporting Chelsea. From then on, I've been a Blue fan. Obviously, as I've said, I've not really followed Chelsea the entire 15 years I've been quote-unquote supporting them. Because back then, as I've said, we didn't watch games. Like, we literally just didn't watch them. The earliest game I can remember of watching of Chelsea, and this is the top of my head, the earliest one I can remember was 2008, the Champions League final against Manchester United. And I cried my little heart out as Chelsea bottled it. It was very upsetting. But yeah, I remember that game quite clearly. We actually went to a family friend's house. We watched the game. My brother being a Man United supporter, me being a Chelsea supporter, I was just absolutely gutted. So yeah, I cried a lot. I don't really fully remember the 2012 Champions League final, which is a weird one. I'm pretty sure I was keeping updated with the score at the time. Like I was checking, Chelsea won, get in. But I can't remember watching it. I don't think I had the access to watch it back then. Because when we went to watch the 2008 Champions League final, obviously the Champions League game has been on BT for a while now, I believe. When the 2008 one, that was went to the friend's house, family friend's house, not only to watch it as a bigger group, but also because they had access to the game. We've only had access to BT since 1st of January 2020. That is it. Since then, we've not had access really to any of the big Champions League games. I believe they showed one on YouTube, like they've started showing the finals on YouTube. And I do remember watching the Liverpool game, the one where Karius made some absolute world-class saves against Real Madrid. And I do remember watching the Spurs one as well. This is before I did watch-alongs, so I've not been doing watch-alongs for that long. As I said in the last video, my first watch-along was literally just a year ago now, I think. Mad. I need to fact-check that, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely under 2 years. Definitely under a year and a half. Like, I've not been doing watch-alongs for that long. Which is weird, really weird. But in the time that I've been doing them, I've done so many. Like, I've watched so many games. Like, some games I see pop up in videos, like, in my recommended, I'm like, I cannot remember watching that game. Like, I really can't. And since we're 4 minutes in, I'm going to do the sponsors, since a lot of you would have stopped watching, and I've kind of blown it now. Manscaped. absolute brilliant place where you can buy some brilliant equipment. This is the Lawnmower 4.0. It is absolutely, it's brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. I have obviously used it, as you can see, used it on my face. It's mainly meant to be used for your balls. Sounds a bit weird, but they have basically, alright, I'm chatting waffle here, but you have different attachments and stuff to use for different parts of your body, and that's why it's safe to use on your face and you're down there. Obviously, make sure to clean it in between and switch attachments. You don't want to shave down there and then shave your face. That would be kind of a bit messed up. Sorry if you do that, but it's a bit weird. So yeah, I've only really shaved my face with this at the moment, but worked very well. I mean, look at the clean shaven. I actually shaved a few days ago, so it's sort of growing it back. And this spot is disgusting. I don't know why that's just appeared on my face. Probably because I'm eating so many brownies. But yeah, look, freshly shaven. Looks lovely. If you use the discount code HTPZ, not only do you get 20% off your order, but you also get free shipping. I mean, what else do you need? They sell some brilliant products. If you've already got, maybe you've already got the Lawnmower 4.0, in which case, you have disposable shaving mats, which are so useful, because when I shaved the other day, I did it in the sink, and then it was a pain in the arse to get all the hair down the sink. Whereas if I had a shaving mat, I could just shave onto the mat, and then you put it in the bin, because it's a disposable shaving mat. Absolutely brilliante. So there's some really good stuff on the site. They've got class items. I highly recommend it. And as I said, you get 20% off your order if you use the code HTPZ. Not only do you help me out, but you get a brilliant bit of equipment that will set you up for life. So yeah. Anyway, back to football. That's like the earliest memories I have of football. What really got me into football was probably my older brother, and then I think he got into it because my dad. Don't quote me on that. My dad, he didn't like really force football on us. I don't think any parent should like throw stuff on their kids. Like I say, my dad was a massive cricket fan. He shouldn't like force it on me. But he didn't really force it on us. I feel like if my dad did talk a lot more about football back then to us, I probably would end up being a Spurs supporter right now, which is sickening to say considering I support Chelsea Football Club. But because obviously it wasn't really that much forced onto it, I was really young at the time. I was 3 years old when I started supporting Chelsea. So since I've grown, I Chelsea till I die, full stop. It will take a bullet to stop me from supporting Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club means a massive amount to me. And that's the other thing. I feel like some people don't admire, not non-football fans don't realise how big your clubs are to your supporter. Well, Chelsea Football Club, I don't know what I'd do without that club. Bloody brilliant. Or the Premier League for that sake. Like the Premier, as much as I hate Arsenal and Tottenham, the fact that they're in the Premier, it just makes it somewhere entertaining. Football's just the best sport in the world. All right, don't even argue. Football. And the other argument is it's not soccer, it's football. Full stop. I'm gonna reply to a Snapchat real quick. 1 second. Bear with. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, done. Right, okay, so yeah, what was I saying again? Jesus, this is such a bad episode. I've already done worse this episode than in the last episode. Should have really just turned my phone off completely. I've done not really the how, the when. Got my like earliest football memories. When I used to play football, I used to play in goal, for anyone wondering. I was a good old goalkeeper, and I was the A-team goalkeeper. I wasn't the best in the world. I'm not going to claim like I was the next Manuel Neuer, but I wasn't awful. James seems to make it out like I was the worst goalkeeper on God's green earth. No, I wasn't that bad. And I like to think if I got thrown in goal today, I wouldn't do a terrible job. Probably wouldn't do the greatest job in the world, but I wouldn't do a terrible job. I actually remember once I got to train with the older group's goalkeeper, which was really cool. They were like, at the time, I was like, I don't know. I'm going to guess like 9 at the time. And back then, obviously, it was giants to me because I was tiny. I think it was like at 18, I got to train. I don't know if it's 18, don't quote me on that. Maybe a bit younger, maybe like 16, 17. So training with them was pretty cool. That was one day I remember very clearly. And yeah, I mean, there were some games where, you know, I had bad moments. I mean, everyone has their bad moments in football. Other games I played really well. It's just kind of inconsistent. What stopped me playing in goal is my stupid brain that I'm currently talking from. I just decided I wanted to go outfield, so I asked if I could go outfield. They put me outfield, but the only problem is we already had a good A team, so you can't just suddenly whack another player and lose your goalkeeper. So pretty much I basically, I guess you could say, asked for a demotion to the B team, which is what ended up happening. I wasn't playing that much for the B. I was playing for the B team, but not that much because it's the B team for crying out loud. Who cares? It's the B team. You're there for the A team. And I wasn't really playing for the A team. I think I played like a few games outfield. That was it. So I was like, oh, shot myself in the foot here. And there we go. So yeah, I was done with the football, and since then I've not actually played for a proper team. Obviously, I played school football, but when you're playing in school, I don't think you take it as serious as you would, unless it's after school. And after school, I was only in the B team. I didn't get into the A team. I played outfield again. I really should have just gone for goalkeeper. Don't know why I didn't. But yeah, I played outfield again, and there was one really funny memory actually. For those of you, I don't know if they have them in America. If you're watching this from America, I have no idea if you've got these or not. But you have inter-houses, is what they're called. And it's like inter-house games, inter-house cup. And our house was playing a game. I don't know how it ended. I think it was a draw. It ended up going to penalties in summary. And I had played so bad in the game, I'd sort of become a meme. But I was sort of laughing along with it. It wasn't like, oh, you're being bullied. No, it was at a point where I was just taking the piss now. And pretty much came to penalties, and there's a massive crowd of people. I must have been like 50 because it's quite big into house. You know, you have all your teams 11. So it was like, I don't know, like 50 people on the side, other players, and came to penalties, and they were cheering my name to have a penalty, sort of for me with it. And I felt like I should have taken one because our captain at the time stepped up and took one. I think it was our captain, and he missed. He missed, and I was like, should have given it to me, you know. I would have put the goalkeeper off. He would have laughed. So yeah, that happened. That was a crazy memory. I just remember so clearly everyone just chanting my name, which was a very weird feeling. I can't quite describe it, but yeah, it was crazy. That's like the most interesting inter-house thing that happened. I can't really remember the rest of them. I mean, they're not that important at the end of the day. Oh Jesus. But yeah, that's sort of what got me into football. How I got into football. The why of I'm still into football is billions of people invested in football. It's the best sport in the world, full stop. No one will ever change my mind from football being the best sport in the world. It just is factually. Football is the best sport in the world. There's a reason why there's this much hype behind it, why there's this much attention to it. It's just so good. I can't put it into words. It's so good. You have your up moments. You have your heartbreak moments. The Euros was the most hurt I've felt in a while watching a football game. The FA Cup final was just AIDS. That was painful. Chilwell's goal was onside, full stop. But we won't get into that. And Chiellini should have been sent off. Same with Jorginho, but we won't get into that. Obviously, a big thing about football is it is opinion based. Obviously, some people have different opinions to others, which is fine. But there are some deluded opinions out there, which is also fine. People are entitled to their delusions. Some of you may think I'm delusional. That's completely fine. But I'm allowed to think you're delusional as well. Sort of how it works. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I don't really know what I've spoken about. I think I have memory loss. I know this video is 13 minutes long as well. Quite a short podcast episode. That can't really be counted as a podcast. But honestly, I have no idea what I've just chatted about. I mentioned like my first Chelsea game, the little factual information about Reading, the team I used to play for, how I got into football. You don't really need a why. You don't need a why. It's kind of dumb. It's like, why do you watch Star Wars? Why do you breathe air? And if you don't watch Star Wars, go and watch it. It's bloody brilliant. But yeah, there's not really a why. I did, and I love it. I think that's pretty much most of the stories I've got at the moment. Hopefully I'll build on more. At the moment, for anyone wondering, I am part of a team, not a 11-a-side team, not like an actual football league team. For those who don't know, we have a team called Stribs FC. It is a 6-a-side league. There's 8 teams in the league. We are currently 8th. Get on. It's been a rough start to the season. It's not actually. It's been a pretty good start to the season, I'll lie. We've had 3 games of the season so far. The first game was an absolute shit show, and we lost 10-1. The scoreline does not reflect the game itself, because the team we lost 10-1 against in the last season, we lost 3-0 against. So the fact that we lost 10-1 was just a shambles. It was just a poor display from all of us. I played awfully. The next game was against the best team in the league. You're probably thinking, oh God, you played the best team in the league. Previous scores against them was 10-0 and 9-0. Score predictions, it was 3-2. Yeah, you're probably listening to that result and thinking, WTF, how do you lose against a team 10-1? Sorry, 10-0, 9-0 and then lose 3-2. Yeah, it was a crazy game. It was an absolutely brilliant display. That was only 2 weeks ago. Absolute world-class display from the lads at Stribs FC. We played very well. Very unlucky as well. I scored a goal that got disallowed because the ref wasn't watching. Very annoyed about that. Pretty much it's a free kick, and free kicks... It was not a free kick. When balls go out for throwings in 6-a-side, at least for this league, you don't do a throwing. You do pretty much a free kick. You take it from the ground. And I had a crack on goal. It's like by the halfway line. Just a little bit in front of the halfway line. Had a crack on goal. Keeper came out to get it. Made a goalkeeping error. It went in. That's not indirect anymore because it's come off the keeper. Referee wasn't watching. Didn't see what happened. Their team complained about it. Goal got disallowed. Yeah, it was a bit of BS. But then at the same time, they had a goal disallowed, which definitely should have been given. It was for a high leg. You know, the guy's leg was not high at all. So yeah, it's probably 4-3. Should have been the score of the game, but it ended 3-2. It was an absolute world-class play. And then we played again yesterday, and we lost 2-1. And it was bloody painful, because we were 1-0 up for so long. And then it's like the last 7 minutes, it goes 1-1. And the last 2 minutes, it goes 2-1. And the scoreline, again, does not reflect the game. They probably had better chances than us, but we had a few chances here and there. We were so close to getting a second one. It was a ridiculous save by their goalkeeper. Overall, it was a good display from us again. We're just so unlucky, man. I think we're actually cursed, to be honest. I think the name Stribs FC is cursed because it was so unlucky. It was so unlucky. So yeah, that was a bit of an annoying game yesterday. I mean, we come away from it feeling happy because it was a good performance. Next Thursday, we have a pretty good team, like a really good team. Finished third place last time. Last time we played them, it was 7-2. We scored 2 goals. Obviously, they scored 7. It wasn't the best defensively display, but scored 2 goals is pretty good. I don't know if I'm playing next week because story time about the game I played yesterday, my ankle/shin almost got broken. I made a tackle on a guy, so I won the ball. But as I won the ball, he went to shoot because it was like in a shooting position. And obviously, man's gone to kick the ball. My leg's in the way because I've just cleared the ball. And he gets nothing but my leg. So, I've just tapped it there and it bloody hurts. It's like it's bruised up at the moment. I can't be asked to show you, but it's like bruised up. It's sore. It's a bit swollen. Not ideal. Hopefully, I'm feeling good for next Thursday. If I don't play, I will end up obviously going to watch since I am the club manager. / captain, I guess. And I do want to obviously watch. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see whether I play or not next Thursday. Timo, if you're watching this right now, Timo, hello there, Timo. Yes, I will make a video at some point. We have recorded some past games. That's the Chelsea badge. I'm just bear with it. Just bear with it. A Stribs FC video is coming soon. I'm really annoyed I haven't made videos out of the first 3 games because I think it would be really good content. So I do apologise, guys. But video is coming soon. I think I'm just going to do my best moments so far video soon-ish. Because whole games would be good, but it's quite hard to record the whole thing considering you do rotation a bit, and I'm hardly on the bench. I've not actually played a minute on the bench yet, so I can't record it. I'd have to rely on other people, and I can't put that burden on them. It's quite awkward when you're recording a game in an area. I'm chatting pure shut here. I can't eat. I've lost it. I'm gonna have a sip of tea again. I've lost the ability to talk, guys. But that pretty much concludes this episode of the podcast. I know it was a lot shorter than the first one, 18 minutes, still quite long. If you watched to this point, I want to say thank you so much, and maybe seek help at the fact that you've managed to put up with my ugly mug for 18 minutes. I mean, how have you listened to me? I'm so boring. Fair play. Thank you so much again for watching to this point. Absolute legend. Thank you. Comment HT I did it. And I'll know that you know that I know. HT, I did it. Just comment there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you have an amazing rest of your days. Make sure to let your dad know, your brother know, your dog know, your cat know, your chicken know. Shop at manscaped.com. Get 20% off your order when you use the promo code HTPZ. The channel name, HTPZ. So yeah, use that and you will get 20% off your order. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. Stay safe. Stay cracking. Fair enough. Au revoir. Episode 2 done. Let's go.